And here is the Writer's Almanac for Friday. It's the 14th of August, 2020. It's the birthday of Russell Baker, Loudoun County, Virginia, 1925, columnist for the New York Times for many years, author of the memoir Growing Up. It's the birthday of Steve Martin, born Waco, Texas, 1945, comedian, actor, author of several plays and novels, who said, "The real joy is in constructing a sentence, but I see myself as an actor first, because writing is what you do when you are ready, and acting is what you do when someone else is ready." It's the birthday of Gary Larson, cartoonist, 1950, born Tacoma, Washington, creator of The Far Side, comic that ran from 1980 to 1995, a cartoon series in which a man sits on a bed in a disheveled room staring at a chicken who was sitting on the windowsill. And the caption read, "The bluebird of happiness, long absent from his life, Ned is visited by the chicken of depression." And in which a kid pushes at a door that is marked pull, and the sign next to him says Midvale School for the Gifted. It's the birthday of one of the best-selling authors of all time, Danielle Steel, born New York City, 1947. Growing up, after her parents divorced, she divided her time between New York and Paris, raised by relatives and family employees. She married young. She had 9 children. The first came along when she was 19, and that was also when she wrote her first book, Going Home, 1972. Worked in public relations in New York during the day, wrote at night. It was her 4th book, The Promise. That was her first big success, 1978. Danielle Steel, who's published well over 100 books, most of them novels, but also a memoir, His Bright Light, about her son, Nicholas Trena, who suffered from bipolar disorder, committed suicide when he was 19. And it's the birthday of a famous dentist, Doc Holliday, born Griffin, Georgia, 1851, practiced in Philadelphia, went west because he was suffering from tuberculosis, wound up in the Arizona Territory in the city of Tombstone, where he became a friend of Wyatt Earp, and along with him, he took part in the gunfight at the OK Corral, October 1881, against the Clantons, one of the most famous shootouts in the history of the West. Here's a poem for today by Donald Hall, Goose Feathers. When I was 12, I sat by myself in the steamliner with a shoebox of sandwiches and deviled eggs my mother made, and ate everything right away as the train headed north by the Sound, where trestles of derelict trolley lines roosted nations of seagulls. From South Station, I took a taxi across Boston to a shabby black locomotive with coal car that pulled 2 rickety coaches. It puffed past long lines of empty commuter trains, past suburbs thick with houses, past the mill towns of Lawrence and Lowell, until the track curved into New Hampshire's pastures of Holstein cattle. My grandfather waited in his coveralls at the depot with horse and buggy to carry me to the farmhouse, to fricasseed chicken, corn on the cob, and potatoes. At 9 o'clock, after shutting up the chickens from skunk and fox, we sat by the cabinet radio for Gabriel Heater, booming news of the war. I slept through the night on my goose feather bed. Goose Feathers, a poem by Donald Hall from The Back Chamber, used by permission here on the Writer's Almanac, now available on PRX for distribution by your local radio station. Be well, do good work, and keep in touch.